Slither is a 2006 sci-fi horror written and directed by James Gunn, and it stars Michael Rooker, Nathan Fillion, Elizabeth Banks and Greg Henry. So this is a Patreon request by David James Venter. David's been a Patreon of mine for quite a while now, and he's decided to hold back his Patreon requests until now, and he's asked me to review Slither, which is an interesting choice because I've only seen that movie once in my life, and that was when it just came out back in 2006, so I don't remember a lot about it. I remember obviously that James Gunn directed it, I remember the cast and crew, and I kind of remember bits of the movie, but not enough to review it off the top of my head, so it was good going back to revisit this movie because I did have a lot of fun with this one. Now there's not much to the story. It starts off with this alien landing on Earth. Very simple, and Michael Rooker just happens to be in the woods with a girl, and this thing goes inside of him, causing him to, it's kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers in The Faculty, where he holds this alien inside of him and he infects everybody else, kind of like an alien slash zombie virus. And there's a couple of groups of people in this movie trying to survive and get away from these kind of slimy alien like things. Now we'll start off with the cast for this film. The cast is very diverse. I love most of the actors in this film. Nathan Fillion, he is fantastic. I really like Elizabeth Banks in this film. Those two are the main characters in the film. One of my personal favourites is Michael Rooker. He's fantastic as Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy, and he plays Meryl in The Walking Dead. He's in a few other things. He's a character actor, and that's exactly what he does in this film. He's a great character actor. Greg Henry is another one that I really like. He was fantastic in Paycheck with Mel Gibson, and he was in one of the best backwoods slashers of all time, in my opinion, Just Before Dawn, when he was in his 20s. And in this one, he plays this kind of, he's a mayor of the town. He's a foul-mouthed mayor, and he's great in it. He's very naturally funny, naturally annoying, and someone you do get behind in this film. The movie does feature some memorable scenes, albeit taking scenes from other movies and putting it into its own, but with a good twist. You know, with the front cover and the poster of Slither, you see a bathtub and the little worm inside it. It's kind of like A Nightmare on Elm Street when Freddy's glove comes out of the water with Nancy. Similar to this one, it's the worm alien thing that comes out of the water in this one. That was a great scene, and that's something I want to talk about, is the special effects in this film and the practical effects. There wasn't a lot of special effects in it. From what I could see, a lot of it was practical effects, but regardless, the special effects and the practical effects were great. The special effects were only used when necessary, but it didn't look out of place. Remember, this film's 12 years old, back in 2006. There was some dodgy CGI back then, and this wasn't one of those movies. When the CGI was used, it was used good, and it was used a lot in the dark scenes to kind of hide the CGI, but like I said, a lot of the practical effects were used, and the practicals were excellent in this. Now, one of the most interesting aspects about going back watching this movie after 12 years is James Gunn. He obviously directed Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, and he brought his own spin to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So going back to watch Slither, you can see a lot of the Guardians of the Galaxy humour in this film, with Nathan Fillion's character kind of reminding you of Star-Lord, Peter Quill. Some of the one-liners in it just reminded you of Guardians of the Galaxy as well. Definitely the cinematography and obviously the direction style was very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy, and some of the cast members as well were in Guardians of the Galaxy. You had Greg Henry, who was in Guardians of the Galaxy, and you had Michael Rooker that was in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. So you can see that James Gunn does bring his actors with him in other projects. I'm not sure if I'm getting this right, but his brother, who was in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, I'm sure I saw him in Slither as well, as one of those things that were attached to Michael Rooker's body. One of the great things about this film was, although it was a horror sci-fi movie, it was an action adventure as well. Even though there was parts that were supposed to scare you and make you laugh, you were more interested about what was going to happen next, because James Gunn did keep you on the edge of your seat when you were watching it. It did feel like this action adventure. You kept on watching, and things just kept on happening. There wasn't really a moment, apart from the beginning when we were getting introduced to the characters, but there wasn't really moments where you could sit and relax and just not think about anything. A lot of things happen within the 95 or so minutes, and that's what I like about this film. It was crammed within 96 minutes and I didn't feel bored at all. Overall guys, I had a blast with this film. I thought it was a great film from start to finish. It's one of those horror movies that not a lot of people have seen. It is a very popular one now, but back when it came out it wasn't the most popular horror movie. But I think it's one of the ones, if you haven't seen it, you definitely need to watch it. And it doesn't look as if it's aged at all. I know it's been 12 years and it's not that long, but 12 years is a long time for some people, and I don't think it's aged at all. It's still a great movie to this day. So thank you very much, David, for that Patreon request. I've got other Patreon requests coming. You have to be on the $10 tier. I think it's the Wolfman tier that you have to be on my Patreon account. If you haven't checked out my Patreon, check it out. You don't have to subscribe or anything. Check it out anyway, because I've got other tiers that you might want to look at. I've got Blu-ray cover tiers, and the tier that David's got just now is the $10 tier he's chosen for the movie reviews. If you're part of that tier, the Wolfman tier, you can ask me to review any horror movie that you want, as long as it's not one that I've reviewed very recently and it's not some sort of pornographic horror movie, but anything else goes as long as it's in the horror genre. And that's not a one-time only thing guys. If you stick with that tier throughout the months, you can request a horror movie every single month, just one a month, until you decide to leave the Patreon. Anyway guys, thanks a lot for watching again, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.